Hi, and welcome back to Ukraine, the Dark and Light. Ukraine's unmanned systems forces recently hit several key enemy facilities. On the night of November 25th, operators from the first separate USF center teamed up with other defense forces to strike the Taganrog Aviation scientific and technical complex named after GM Berev. This plant produces seaplanes and amphibious aircraft like the BE-200 and BE-12 and Tu-95 MSM, as well as the modernization and testing of A-50, A-100, and Tu-95 MSM aircraft. After the strike, there were reports of fires and explosions at the complex, and it looks like an experimental A-60 aircraft was on fire. In Taganrog, the UAV manufacturing company Atlant Aero, which makes parts for unmanned aviation systems and control setups, was also struck. Both of these companies are tightly linked to the Russian armed forces. Over in Novorossiysk, the first separate USF center, along with SOF and other defense forces, hit several military and logistical sites in the port. Early reports say they took out oil loading arms and a launcher for the S-400 air defense system. We're still figuring out the full impact of these strikes, but the unmanned systems forces are steadily weakening the enemy's ability to keep up their aggression against Ukraine. In other news, a drone crashed into a house in a village in Moldova this morning. It is becoming more and more common for drones to end up in countries bordering Ukraine. Local police are investigating. It's also been reported that drones have entered Romania, with debris being found by local authorities. Next, absolutely crazy scenes in Russia, with what seems like an attack by the Russian air defense on houses in the Krasnodar Krai. Air defense firing randomly in all directions with no apparent care for local residents and civilian infrastructure. In this video, you can clearly see air defense hitting residential areas. In this video, you can see Russian fascists round up Ukrainians in occupied Berdyansk and send them to the front line to die while fighting against their fellow Ukrainians in their own country, Ukraine. This is perverse. Russia needs to be destroyed and rebuilt from the ashes under Western occupation. Putin thinks he'll take Donetsk Oblast one way or another, but ISW says their forces still can't capture key strongholds. After 11 years of fortifications, Ukraine's fortress belt is holding, and now Trump is pushing Kyiv to give it up anyway. Do you think Ukraine should give up land as part of any peace negotiation? Please comment below. Zelensky confirmed Russia launched 22 missiles and over 460 drones in the latest wave of attacks, targeting Dnipropetrovsk, Kharkiv, Chernihiv, and Cherkasy regions, focusing on energy and civilian infrastructure. He urged partners to keep up arms deliveries, air defense, and sanctions. Firm's data has now confirmed 2 separate fires in Taganrog after yesterday's Ukrainian drone missile attacks, one at the Berev Aircraft Company and one, likely, at industrial enterprise Natek Neftekhimach, manufacturing heating equipment. U.S. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll is holding a second day of meetings with Russian officials in Abu Dhabi, according to CBS. He met with the Russian delegation for several hours on Monday evening and plans further talks on Tuesday to push forward the peace process and accelerate negotiations. Zelensky. This morning I spoke with Prime Minister Starmer. Following the meetings in Geneva, we see many prospects that can make the path to peace real. There are solid results, and much work still lies ahead. Today, a meeting of the Coalition of the Willing will take place. We have coordinated our positions and the priority issues for discussion, as well as some of our next steps and contacts. What do you think about the Ukrainian attacks in Russia overnight and the potential peace deal? Please comment below. Thanks for listening to Ukraine, the Dark and Light. Please like, subscribe, and share.